What if the people we idolize are just mirrors, reflecting what we feel we lack? Hero worship looks like admiration, like inspiration. But what if it's just about loneliness and projection?
Because we don't just love our heroes, we place our unmet needs onto them. And then there's something intoxicating about the distance as well.
A hero is close enough to observe, but far enough to never disappoint you. They can't reject you, they can't argue with you, they can't leave you. They are, in a sense, the safest relationship we can have. And maybe that's why we need them. Or maybe that's a clue to what we actually need. And in this age of internet, where celebrities live stream their lives and politicians speak directly into our phones, we are closer than ever to our heroes. Yet this obsession has only gotten stronger. I have seen this all my life, in my family, my parents, my friends, and even myself. From musicians to actors to godmen to politicians to sportsmen, hero worship is very prominent in our society. So I decided to peer behind the curtains of the human brain a bit and understand why. And once you understand it, you start seeing it everywhere. Get ready, because I looked it up so you don't have to. In my investigation, I found that the hero comes much later. First comes a basic human need, a need to form and maintain strong and stable relationships. In fact, we have evolved to do this. Humans survived because of this. Giraffes evolved long necks to reach leaves other herbivores can't. Chameleons evolved eyes that move independently, scanning 360 degrees for threats. Humans evolved something less visible but far more powerful: the ability to understand other human minds. This is called the theory of mind. We read intentions, we anticipate desires, we build alliances, we cooperate, and many times we even manipulate. And although the world has changed quite a lot since we evolved into these social beings, this deeply embedded need for a relationship and belonging is still there just as much, even if some feel it more than the others. Now, the interesting thing I found is when this need goes unmet. The first crack in the system is loneliness. But that's not the end of it. This loneliness causes profound psychological distress in some. And so these people start seeking alternatives. And more often than not, they find it in celebrity or hero worship. It's perfect if you think about it. It's one-sided, demands nothing from you, but you receive this illusion of a connection that you crave. See, it's not always bad. It sometimes acts as a healthy transition. Teenagers use celebrity worship as a transition from parent-child relationship to a romantic relationship. They use it as a trial personality as they develop their own. And as they grow up, that obsession fades away. That's natural. But when this obsession persists well into adulthood, that's when it gets unnatural. It is generally a clue that a psychological need to belong is not being met. And this one-sided emotional bond is often strengthened by faith, ritual, storytelling, and community. Let's talk about traditional roles such as housewives for a second here. Now, since this person is in a caregiver role of the family, they may not have a good social network. Taking care of a child, probably another man-child, and a house will do that to you. The role often even comes with a lesser say in the decision-making of the family. Emphasis on self-sacrifice, and is conveniently solely identified as the care provider of the family. What this does is it ends up making their emotional needs secondary. It forces them to seek external validation to fill their emotional void, to find meaning in their life, or to cope with stress. So a lot of them choose heroes that represent the ideals that they admire: confidence, power, compassion, authority, security, caregiving, hopeful, and morality. And the image of a godman fits these requirements like a glove. These caregivers, who may feel invisible or unappreciated, are told by these godmen that the role that they play is divine, reframing their service as sacred. They provide them with a stable identity. In some households, this spiritual alignment even gives women influence over family matters, over children, over moral decisions. And the community that you get to be a part of because of it is a cherry on top. So it's not hard to believe that housewives, mothers start to worship these godmen. But you might ask that if it's really fulfilling a deep psychological need, then what's the harm?
See, it's not a real social relationship. It just passes off as one. But since it satisfies enough of the belongingness needs, it reduces our motivation for the more challenging work of building authentic, real-world connections. And as you avoid it well into your adulthood, you never even get to learn how to. And this obsession only gets stronger. Neurologically, it behaves like a drug. You want more and more. You want to be as close to your heroes as possible. This generally ends up in wastage of time, money, and every so often with some restraining orders.
You stop seeing reason when it comes to your heroes. It becomes almost like blind devotion. You will rationalize any behavior from them. They become your role model. You do as they say, which makes it very easy for your heroes to manipulate you. Till now, I have mostly explored hero worship as a coping mechanism for unmet psychological needs. But that's just one of the reasons for it. It's also about giving your agency to someone else because you want to avoid responsibility. When you worship a hero, you don't just look up to them. You hand them your ambition and then live off of the emotional return of their success. So saying that hero worship is a healthy and viable alternative to an actual relationship is like saying AI chatbots are a viable alternative to actual relationships. Only the people who profit from it will agree to that. But what we all unanimously agree upon is that you should subscribe to Bedroom Labs. Researching this topic was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. There are more interesting topics like this coming your way that explore the psychology behind power, culture, and emotional conditioning. And I'm open to suggestions, so please fill my engagement void down below in the comments. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.